Hey folks, and welcome to my video of how to get basically as many Pokemon as you possibly would want of Shinies, Legendaries, what have you, on the virtual game console for 3DS for gold, silver, and crystal versions of the game. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right into it. The cool thing about this, that's kind of funny, you can see me a little bit in the background there, but the cool thing about this is that you could use this process to get these Pokemon into the modern versions of Pokemon Sword and Shield. Unfortunately, a lot of the Pokemon, such as this Lugia that we're going to be using, which took me about 6,300 or more soft resets to get, stuff like this, it's going to take a little while to unlock, at least as of making this video. The DLC of Crown Tundra for Sword and Shield isn't out yet, so you won't be able to use like shiny Lugias and shiny Ho-Ohs quite yet, but you will eventually be able to do it. And this is good preparatory practice to get ready for all that stuff. So we're going to deposit this Lugia, and we're going to go into the change box option. And you want to do this in box 1 just for the sake of, if you're transferring to bank, it will take all the Pokemon for box 1 and none of the other boxes. But you're going to go to box 2 and try to switch into that box. And you're going to go through this process, and right where it says saving, you're going to pause the game by tapping the little screen, so it gives you these options of resume game and restart. And you're going to tap restart, and you're going to hit yes, and you're going to go ahead and reset the whole game. And what that's going to do is it's actually going to trick the game into thinking that you have a Pokemon in your PC box, this Lugia that you put in there, as well as having a Lugia in your party. And it does this because, yep, you can see I have 2 Lugia now. And it does this because back when these games first came out in the cartridge versions, when the game was saving, it was saving a lot of data all at once. And one of the last things it checked was your party Pokemon. And because of that, sorry about the blurriness, my camera keeps wanting to focus on different things. Because of that, we're actually able to do this duplication glitch. And the cool thing too is if you're attaching items to these Pokemon, those items get duplicated as well. So say you want to level your Pokemon up a lot, you can give them rare candies, or you want to do more shiny hunting and use Master Balls, you can give them Master Balls. But doing this whole process, you basically can just duplicate as many items and Pokemon as you want, which, like I say, is pretty amazing for when you're going ahead and like wanting to do shiny giveaways for Lugia and Ho-Oh, or Celebi if you got that too, which you can actually use in the game currently. It's really amazing. And I don't really see a lot of streamers and YouTubers doing this too much. So hopefully this video will help those people out too, as well as just everybody else. Another cool thing about this is it's not using any hacks. This is just using in-game exploit stuff that was built into the game, so you won't get banned or really get in too much trouble or anything for doing this, at least not currently. I don't know if Game Freak is gonna come down on this stuff too. They've been cracking down on a lot of different stuff, it seems, lately. But basically, all the Pokemon that you're getting from this are 100% legit, except for, yes, they are duplicated, but once they go to bank, will all have their own individual IVs and hidden Pokemon, like ID codes and stuff like that. So if you were to check all the data on those Pokemon, like I say, once they hit Pokemon Bank, they are all going to be different Lugias, which is really awesome. So you can use them in raids if you're in an online tournament that allows like legendary Pokemon or anything like that. You can use them for pretty much anything, which is really amazing. And so let's see here. One other thing you want to note, though, is before you send these Pokemon to bank, or probably even before you start doing this duplication glitch, is you want to check the Pokemon's experience points. Sorry for the blurriness on this again. My camera just does not want to focus. There we are. So as you can see, this number is 65 for those last 2 experience points. that means that this Lugia is going to have a nature of modest. Basically, whenever you're transferring Pokemon for them Gen 1 or Gen 2 games, so red, blue, yellow, crystal, silver, or gold versions, when you're transferring them into the more or more recent versions, it will take into account those last two experience points digits and determine what the Pokemon's nature is going to be. So you're usually when you get a fresh Pokemon, either from an egg or from an encounter, it will have a hardy or neutral nature. You need to fight a couple of Sentrets or Zubats or whatever to get those Pokemon, to get a few experience points, to get different natures. There's a list that I will link to or preview in this video or the next one of all the different IV spreads or experience point spreads with the relevant natures and everything like that. But for right now, we're just going to focus on this. So we have a party of now 5 Lugia, which is the most efficient way to do this. Usually you want your random other Pokemon, so I have Charizard in here, but your random other Pokemon would be at the bottom of your party, so you can just go to deposit. You don't have to worry about scrolling down every time. And then you deposit all 5 of the duplicate Pokemon you now have. Go to Change Box, and you do pretty much the exact same process, except this time you don't have to save in between each round. You can just keep going, and the box will register that you have 5 Pokemon in your party as well as 5 additional Pokemon in your deposit box. So all of a sudden the process gets a lot quicker, and you're able to do this much more seamlessly. And you can do this until the box is completely full. Now, like I said, you want to maybe just stick to doing box 1, and then once box 1 is completely full, you go and you transfer your Pokemon into Pokemon Bank, because otherwise you're just going to be having to transfer Pokemon around a lot. So you can see that I now have 10 Pokemon in that box 1. But this just is more an efficient method of doing this whole process. So hopefully this video has been enlightening to some of you. If you have any more questions or anything, feel free to ask. I've showed a little bit and I've talked a little bit of how to do this on my Twitch stream. And I just figured showing the actual physical process, despite the random camera issues and everything like that, was a good idea, especially with people who have access to a 3DS and want to do this themselves. And if you want to put in the time to do it, because like I say, it does take a bit of a process, because even if you are shiny breeding and you have the shiny ditto glitch that you can just basically just breed out eggs with a 1 in 64 chance and everything, there's always that random RNG. It'll take you 3 or 4 or 5 days to get the shiny, or it might take even longer. It just depends. I got really lucky with a Cubone and a Execute the other day, and they only took me 20 eggs each to get the shinies for them. So now I can get shiny Alolan Executors and shiny Alolan Marowaks, no problem. And the next video I will show how to get those Alolan Marowaks and Alolan Executors on live, so that way you guys can see that process too. You do need to have a version of Sun or Moon or Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon in order to do that, but that'll all come later. So like I say, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Now I have a full box of shiny Lugia all set to go to the Pokemon Bank, so we're sitting pretty, and I can do those for more giveaways. So like I say, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more of this how-to content and other game playthroughs and all that stuff. And if you know of anybody else, either any streamers that you think might benefit from this, or anybody else really, friends, family, whoever still plays Pokemon, feel free to share this video to them. And with that, I'll let you guys go, and you have a great one. Peace out.